farmer shoes.
Hey there, farmer. What is the birth of civilization?
Well, the birth of civilization involves many things, starting with the River Valley civilizations. River Valley civilizations were the earliest civilizations that developed around rivers for the fresh water supply and the fertile land. They consisted of Egypt, China, Indus Valley, and Mesopotamia. The rivers that are within these civilizations are the Euphrates, Ganges, Huanghe, Indus, Tigris, Nile, and Yangtze River. These civilizations Civilizations led to cuneiform. Cuneiform is a Sumerian writing system made by pressing a wedge-shaped tool into clay tablets. Cuneiform was beneficial to the ancient world because it was less confusing than symbolic language and faster than pictograms. It was also easier to teach and learn. But before cuneiform, there was collective learning, which allowed humans to adapt to new environments by allowing them to share ideas about how to cope with their surroundings. They were able to share things about the past and present. Collective learning allowed humans to develop a thing called symbolic language, which was the ability to symbolize things and pass them on to generations. There was also hieroglyphics and cave art. Getting back to me, I'm a farmer. I have to do with the agricultural revolution. The agricultural revolution was the transition from hunting to farming. The revolution was a big transition because there was many benefits to farming instead of hunting. Overall, there are many categories in the birth of civilization. Look at my nice farm. Hi, I'm Merchant Nadia, and I'll teach you about trade and economics.
Hello, Merchant Nadia.
Hi.
What does trade and economics mean?
Well, trade and economics branches out into three main categories.
Three?
Wow! Yeah. These are the pyramids, Phoenicians, and the Silk Road. Starting with the pyramids, the main question is, did slaves build the pyramids?
No.
The answer is, like you guessed, no! The people who built the pyramids were called corvée laborers. These were people who could no longer pay the tax, so in exchange for working to build the pyramids, the pharaoh would feed them and care for them. Isn't that nice?
No.
Okay. If they did not let you build the pyramids, they had to die in jail. Therefore, pharaohs traded work in exchange for care with the corvée laborers. Now on to the Phoenicians. The Phoenicians were people who knew how to trade and barter. Merchants, like me, are some of the main people who made trades and barters. But overall, most Phoenicians' jobs had some aspect of trading and bartering. Phoenicians were also bartering.
Oh, wow.
Phoenicians were also expert builders and engineers. There were also some very expensive things in the Phoenician world, like Tyrian dye. The dye came from Murex snails. It was very expensive. Since the dye was purple, purple became the color of royalty and loyalty.
Oh, so you mean like this sheet?
Yes.
So if I wear this, I'm royal?
Yes. Thus, why I was wearing a nice purple dress. Finally, when discussing the Silk Road, we are also looking at trading and bartering. The Silk Road mainly consisted of trading and bartering with people along it. There was also some commodity, which was an object used for trade that has value in exchange. But overall, the Silk Road was a route in which there was many cultural interactions through the regions of the Asian continent, connecting the east and west from China to the Mediterranean Sea. To sum up, trade and economics had to do with the Silk Road, Phoenicians, and the building of the pyramids.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. What is government and politics?
Government and politics has to do with the pharaoh's democracy and the republic. A republic is a state in which supreme power is held by the people and their elected representatives, and which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch. A council is leaders of the Roman Republic from the patrician class and elected from the Senate. To differ, a republic is a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of the state, typically through elected representatives. Finally, the pharaohs are an example of government and politics because they ruled their empires in many different ways. There were some fairs who were beneficial and some who were not. We then go to the agora.
Here's Jamie dragging peasant Stephen to the agora to go vote.
One example of warrior conflict is the ruler Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great was a Greek king who ruled the biggest empire in the Middle East. One way that Alexander the Great created conflict was the things he did. He commanded his troops and defeated a large army. However, he did many bad things. He ordered people to be whipped and tortured. Shing Huangdi the Great and the Great Wall was a great example of war and conflict. Shing Huangdi the emperor had people on one side of the wall. They got to be free and relax. On the other side of the wall, there were peasants who were not allowed on the other side. They were begging for entry and to the other side of the wall, but they were denied. Finally, Ashoka the Great, he was the ruler of a warlike empire. He defeated a battle and harmed thousands of people. He captured over 150,000 people, but after he realized this was not the way he wanted to live his life, he gave up war and fighting. Overall, war and conflict had to do with the rulers and how they chose to rule their empires.
Let me in.
I, Shing Huangdi, will not let you in.
Let me in.
What are the main components of culture
and society? Well, there are many branches of culture and society, but the main ones that we focus on were Hammurabi's Code, gladiators, and mythology. First, Hammurabi's Code was a series of 282 laws for the ancient Babylonian society.
Whoa, that's great. That's a lot of laws.
The goal of Hammurabi's Code is that if a wrongdoing is executed, then a punishment will be enforced that is of the same or equal value. The goal of Hammurabi's Code is that if someone makes a mistake that will affect others, then the person who executed the mistake will have to pay for it. Next, gladiators. The gladiators were ancient fighters. The gladiators were ancient Roman men or women who were trained to fight with weapons against other men or women in the wild. Let's start over. The gladiators were men or women who were trained to fight against other men or women in the arena against people and wild animals.
Wow, really? Go women.
Yeah. The gladiatorial fights were seen as a distraction to divert the Roman society from the disasters that Rome had faced. The gladiatorial fights are significant. The first gladiatorial fight was consisting of slaves. This is culturally significant because the slaves in ancient Rome were originally the only people to fight, but then free men began going to gladiator school. Finally, mythology.
Wait, hold on. Why would gladiators want to go to school?
So they can fight better in the arena and win. Okay, finally, mythology. Mythology is ancient myths and stories that are passed on. There are many types of mythology, but one of the main ones is Greek mythology. It has many great examples of love, death, heroism, and consists of many more themes. From gods to creatures, mythology consisted of many strange but fascinating things.
Wow.